Have your legs been feeling weaker lately? Maybe you noticed your balance isn't what it used to be, or that fatigue sets in faster than it should. For many people over 60, these small changes creep in quietly, and before long, walking across a room or climbing a few steps feels harder than it should. And here's the truth. When your legs start to weaken, everything in life feels more fragile. Your independence, your safety, even your confidence.
Now, here's what most seniors are told. It's just aging, nothing you can do about it. But is that really true? I can tell you, after decades of working with older adults, that message is not only discouraging, it's misleading. Aging does bring changes, yes, but decline is not inevitable. Your body can stay strong, mobile, and resilient well beyond 60. The secret lies in giving your muscles the right signals and the right support every single day.
And here's where I want you to lean in. That support doesn't have to mean another prescription bottle, an exhausting gym routine, or an expensive supplement. Sometimes it starts with something as simple as what's already in your kitchen cupboard. That's right, your daily cup of tea.
Sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? But modern science is catching up with what many traditional cultures have known for centuries. Certain teas contain powerful compounds that fight inflammation, boost circulation, and help tired muscles recover faster. Unlike a single pill that only works in one direction, these plant-based compounds support multiple systems at once: your muscles, your joints, your nerves, even your energy levels.
So why does this matter after 60? Because that's the age when something called sarcopenia, the slow loss of muscle tissue, becomes more common. Muscles shrink, fatigue comes quicker, and recovery takes longer. Balance feels shaky. Joints stiffen. Blood doesn't move as efficiently. One system after another starts to stumble, and it feels like everything is slipping out of sync.
But here's the good news. When you support these systems together, you can change the outcome. You can rebuild strength. You can walk steady. You can keep living life on your own terms. In just a moment, I'm going to share 3 teas that do exactly that. They're not exotic fads. They're safe, affordable, backed by research, and proven by long traditions of use. And when you drink them regularly, they send the right signals to your body. Stay strong, stay balanced, keep moving. So before you pour your next cup, let me show you how something so ordinary can quietly become one of the most powerful tools you have to fight muscle loss and reclaim your confidence with every step. When most people hear the words ginger and turmeric, they think of recipes: stir-fry, curry, maybe a holiday gingerbread cookie. But here's the surprise. When combined in tea, these 2 kitchen staples turn into a therapeutic powerhouse that tackles 2 of the biggest culprits behind weak, heavy legs: inflammation and poor circulation. Let's start with ginger. For centuries, it has been treasured as both food and medicine. Modern science now confirms what tradition long suspected. Ginger contains bioactive compounds called gingerols. These natural chemicals act like gentle openers for your blood vessels. Doctors call them vasodilators, meaning they help blood flow more freely. Why does this matter for seniors? Because sluggish circulation is often the hidden reason your legs feel like lead, cramp unexpectedly, or tire too quickly. Without steady blood flow, your muscles are like engines running on half fuel, struggling, sputtering, wearing down. Ginger reverses that slowdown. By improving circulation, it ensures that oxygen and nutrients actually reach the muscle fibers, giving them the resources to perform and to recover. Many of my patients who add ginger tea to their daily routine come back and tell me, "My legs feel lighter. I don't dread the stairs anymore." Now let's turn to turmeric. If ginger gets your blood moving, turmeric calms the fire that burns inside tired muscles and stiff joints. Its key compound, curcumin, is one of nature's strongest anti-inflammatory agents. Inflammation doesn't just make you ache, it speeds up muscle breakdown, stiffens your joints, and makes even simple activities like walking to the mailbox feel harder than they should. Curcumin works by blocking the enzymes and chemical signals that keep that internal fire raging. By lowering inflammation, it gives your body a chance to rebuild. Clinical studies show curcumin reduces joint pain and even protects muscle fibers from further damage. For older adults, that translates into fewer aches after walking, less stiffness in the morning, and quicker recovery after light exercise. Here's where the magic happens. Ginger and turmeric amplify each other. Ginger boosts blood flow, delivering oxygen and nutrients. Turmeric reduces inflammation, allowing those nutrients to actually rebuild muscle. It's like repairing a house. You need both the delivery truck with supplies and the removal of the debris. Together, they bring both relief in the short term and rebuilding in the long term.
But here's something few people know. Preparation matters. Fresh ginger root releases higher amounts of gingerols than the dried spice. Fresh turmeric root is also ideal, though turmeric powder can still be effective. And don't forget the black pepper. Just a pinch in your tea can increase curcumin absorption by several 100%. That's because piperine, the active compound in pepper, helps curcumin pass through the intestinal wall instead of being wasted. Add a slice of lemon for brightness, or a spoon of honey for taste, and you've got a cup that is both delicious and therapeutic.
Now, let me be clear. 1 cup won't change your legs overnight. Just as muscle decline happens gradually, rebuilding also takes time. But with steady use, day after day, week after week, the benefits accumulate. Some people notice lighter steps within a week or 2. Others may need a month. The key is consistency, treating it as a daily ritual rather than a quick fix.
And here's something worth remembering. This practice isn't new. In India and across Asia, ginger turmeric tea has been used for generations as a household remedy for joint pain and fatigue. Families often serve it to older relatives to keep them mobile and comfortable. The fact that this tradition has lasted centuries is proof of its staying power.
Interestingly, even modern athletes now embrace turmeric to reduce inflammation and speed recovery. If professional runners and weightlifters use it to push their bodies through grueling schedules, imagine what it can do for someone simply wanting to walk stronger, climb stairs with ease, or enjoy a morning stroll without pain.
So the next time you feel that heaviness in your legs, remember this: the answer might not be another pill, but something far more familiar. A warm, golden cup of ginger turmeric tea. Simple, safe, and powerful, could be your first step toward rebuilding strength and reclaiming steady, confident movement.
Fatigue. For many older adults, it is the most disabling symptom of aging. Pain and stiffness may be annoying, yes, but fatigue is the thief of joy. It shrinks your world little by little. You wake up already tired. You walk a block and feel drained. Soon, you find yourself avoiding outings, skipping activities you once loved, and telling yourself, I just don't have the energy anymore. But here's the important truth. Fatigue is not simply part of getting old. It is not something you must surrender to. In fact, science shows that fatigue after 60 is often less about the muscles themselves and more about 3 hidden processes: reduced oxygen delivery, inefficient energy metabolism, and the body's declining ability to handle stress. In other words, your cells are working harder and producing less.
So, how do you reverse that? Rest alone won't do it. To restore energy, the body needs help using oxygen more efficiently, producing energy more steadily, and calming the stress response that quietly burns through your reserves. One of the simplest, safest, and most effective tools for this is found in a cup: Ginseng green tea.
On the surface, it may look like an ordinary drink, but combine these 2 plants, green tea and ginseng, and you get a blend that not only lifts energy, but also protects muscles, steadies mood, and fuels endurance. Let's look at ginseng first. This root has been prized in Asian medicine for centuries as a remedy for weakness and fatigue. Today, modern research confirms that ginseng contains compounds called ginsenosides. These compounds are multitaskers. They improve how muscles use oxygen, making each step less exhausting. They calm stress hormones, shielding muscle tissue from breakdown. They enhance mitochondrial function, helping the tiny power plants in your cells produce steady energy.
Think of it this way. In older adults, mitochondria often sputter like old engines, leaving muscles starved of energy. Ginseng tunes them up, so the same amount of fuel goes further. The result? More strength, less fatigue, and a body that doesn't give up halfway through the day. But the benefits go beyond the physical. One of the most overlooked realities of aging is that mental fatigue often drives physical inactivity. When you feel mentally foggy or drained, you simply don't move. Ginseng supports not only the body, but also the brain. Studies show it sharpens focus, reduces mental exhaustion, and restores motivation. For many of my patients, this is the turning point. They feel clear enough, confident enough to stay active again. Now, let's turn to green tea. Most seniors already know it as a healthy beverage. What makes it special is its rich supply of catechins, powerful antioxidants that defend cells from oxidative stress. That's the cellular rust that damages proteins and DNA inside muscles, accelerating weakness. By neutralizing free radicals, catechins help preserve muscle integrity and joint health. And then there's its unique combination of caffeine and L-theanine. Unlike coffee, which can overstimulate and then crash, green tea produces a calm, steady wakefulness. The modest caffeine offers a gentle lift, while L-theanine smooths the edges, creating alertness without jitters. For older adults sensitive to stimulants, this balance is key. Instead of a burst of energy followed by collapse, you get steady fuel that lasts.
When combined, ginseng and green tea complement one another beautifully. Ginseng helps muscles use oxygen more efficiently. Green tea shields those muscles from oxidative stress and gives the mind a calm alertness. Together, they support both body and mind, encouraging activity without strain. The preparation is simple, but details matter. Water should not be boiling hot. Let it cool slightly before steeping to protect the delicate catechins. Brew the green tea for 2 to 3 minutes. Add thin slices of fresh ginseng root or a pinch of dried ginseng powder and let it steep another 5 minutes. A drizzle of honey can sweeten the taste, but skip heavy sweeteners that sabotage metabolic health.
Drink it once daily, ideally in the morning. The gentle lift supports your energy through the day, helping you feel ready to walk, climb stairs, or simply enjoy time with family. Of course, a note of caution: ginseng can raise blood pressure in some individuals and may interact with certain medications. That's why I always encourage seniors with complex conditions to check with their physician first. But for most older adults, consumed as tea in modest amounts, it is both safe and well tolerated.
Here's the bigger lesson. Rebuilding strength and energy after 60 is not about one miracle fix. It is about layering small, consistent habits that together create resilience. A warm cup of ginseng green tea may seem like a small gesture, but over time, it builds into a foundation of energy, motivation, and independence. Imagine waking up and not dreading the day. Imagine walking without stopping halfway. Imagine feeling not only physically capable, but mentally clear and motivated again. That's the promise of this daily ritual: simple, steady, and strong.
One of the most underestimated challenges of aging is not simply muscle weakness itself, but the way stress, poor sleep, and hormonal changes quietly wear the body down. Many older adults describe the same frustrating cycle, waking already tired, legs stiff before the day even begins, and carrying an invisible weight of fatigue that no amount of rest seems to lift. Others tell me that they want to stay active, but constant worry or restless nights drain them of the energy and motivation needed to follow through. Here's the hidden truth. Weakness doesn't just come from shrinking muscle fibers. It comes from the invisible forces inside the body: stress hormones, disrupted rest, and nerve fatigue. When stress goes unchecked and sleep is shallow, the body spends more time breaking down than repairing. Muscles never fully recover. Bones weaken. The nervous system loses its sharpness. The result is a slow but relentless slide into frailty, instability, and loss of confidence.
This is exactly where ashwagandha root tea offers something unique. Unlike ginger turmeric tea, which focuses on circulation and inflammation, or ginseng green tea, which boosts stamina and mental clarity, ashwagandha works at the level of balance itself. It is what we call an adaptogen, a plant that helps the body adapt to stress and restore equilibrium. Ashwagandha's power lies in its ability to regulate cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone. Cortisol is not the enemy. It helps us wake up, respond to challenges, and survive. But when cortisol stays high for too long, it turns destructive. It accelerates the breakdown of muscle. It weakens bones. It disrupts sleep cycles. In older adults, this hormonal imbalance can speed up aging dramatically.
By calming cortisol, ashwagandha shifts the body from fight and breakdown mode into repair and rebuild mode. This internal shift is crucial for seniors. It creates the very conditions needed for muscles to strengthen, for bones to stabilize, and for energy to return. For centuries, Ayurvedic medicine in India has used ashwagandha as a tonic for strength and vitality. Today, modern clinical research supports these traditions. Studies show that regular ashwagandha use can increase muscle strength, improve balance, and reduce fatigue in older adults. Even more importantly, it works on both mind and body simultaneously. On the physical side, ashwagandha strengthens neuromuscular connections, the wiring between nerves and muscles that control balance and coordination. That's why some seniors who once felt unsteady on their feet report walking with more confidence after several weeks of use. On the emotional side, it calms the nervous system, easing the anxiety that often accompanies weakness. The result isn't just stronger steps, but a renewed sense of self-assurance with every movement. Another area where ashwagandha shines is sleep. Too often overlooked, sleep is the silent architect of strength. Muscles don't rebuild during the day, they rebuild at night, during deep sleep, when growth hormone is released and tissues are repaired. Without restorative sleep, no amount of exercise or nutrition can fully restore muscle. That's why insomnia is so devastating for seniors. It robs them of the very hours when healing should happen. Ashwagandha tea, taken in the evening, helps quiet the racing mind, relax tense muscles, and encourage deeper, more restorative rest. Many of my patients have shared that after a few weeks of evening ashwagandha tea, they no longer wake feeling broken and stiff. Instead, they rise with lighter legs, steadier balance, and more resilience because their body has finally had the chance to recover overnight. Preparation does require a little patience. Unlike delicate green tea leaves, ashwagandha root is dense and fibrous. To draw out its full benefit, simmer dried root pieces gently in water for 10 to 15 minutes. Strain and enjoy. The flavor is earthy and slightly nutty, pairing well with cinnamon or a drizzle of honey. For convenience, powdered ashwagandha or tea bags are available, though the root itself provides the purest effect. Timing depends on your goal. For calm, steady energy during the day, drink it in the morning. For better sleep and overnight recovery, the evening is ideal. Either way, consistency is key. Adaptogens don't work like stimulants. Their effects accumulate slowly as the body relearns balance. And that's what makes ashwagandha so valuable. It addresses the hidden dimensions of decline. Weakness is not only about shrinking fibers, it's about nerves firing less efficiently, hormones working against you, and stress eroding recovery. Ashwagandha targets all of these at once, giving your body the reset it desperately needs. Of course, safety matters. Ashwagandha is generally well tolerated, but it should be used with caution in people with thyroid disorders or autoimmune conditions, since it can influence hormone levels. For most older adults, though, when consumed as tea in modest amounts, it is both safe and highly beneficial.
The larger lesson here is simple yet profound. Rebuilding strength after 60 is not about chasing one miracle solution. It is about nurturing the body across multiple systems: circulation, inflammation, energy metabolism, stress balance, and recovery. Ginger turmeric tea tackles inflammation. Ginseng green tea restores stamina. And ashwagandha root tea brings balance, calming stress and deepening rest so that real repair can occur. Taken together, these 3 teas form a daily ritual of resilience. They are affordable, natural, safe, and deeply rooted in both tradition and modern science. For seniors, they are not just beverages, but gentle allies, cups of strength that slowly, steadily rebuild the body's ability to walk strong again. So the next time you feel your legs stiffen or your energy slip away, remember, the path to strength may be as close as the warm mug in your hands.
I always remind my patients that the most powerful tools for health are often the simplest. You don't need to chase complicated routines or expensive supplements to feel stronger. Sometimes the answer is as close as the cup in your hands. Ginger turmeric tea, ginseng green tea, and ashwagandha root tea are not just drinks. They are daily habits that send powerful messages to your body: heal, strengthen, recover.
Think about what happens when you make them part of your life. Ginger and turmeric calm inflammation and free up circulation so nutrients flow where they are needed. Ginseng lifts stamina and clears mental fatigue so you feel the motivation to keep moving. Ashwagandha lowers stress and deepens sleep, so the rebuilding that only happens at night can finally take place. 3 simple teas, 3 different actions, all working together to restore resilience.
What matters most is consistency. A single cup won't transform your legs overnight, but day after day, these small choices accumulate. Over weeks and months, soreness eases, steps become steadier, energy feels more reliable, confidence grows. Aging is not a straight path downward. The body still adapts, still responds, still rewards the care you give it, even at 70, 80, or beyond. Of course, every person is unique. I always encourage older adults to talk with their physician before starting any new habit, especially if they take multiple medications. But for most, these teas are safe, gentle, and profoundly supportive. They are not exotic fads. They are time-tested allies, grounded in both tradition and modern science.
So if you have noticed your legs weakening, your balance fading, or your energy slipping away, do not accept those changes as permanent. Instead, consider this. What if the strength you thought was lost could be rebuilt, 1 cup at a time? What if tomorrow morning, instead of simply pouring hot water, you were pouring resilience back into your life? The path to stronger legs and steadier steps may be simpler than you think. It may begin today with the warm comfort of tea.